Good morning, everyone. In the last few classes, we have came across chemistry of lipids and digestion and absorption of lipids. Today, we will deal with fatty acid oxidation. Oxidation of fatty acids takes place in three pathways: alpha oxidation, beta oxidation, and omega oxidation. Coming to the topic, oxidation of fatty acids, beta oxidation plays an important role. That is the reason it is called as major pathway as far as the oxidation of fatty acid is concerned, whereas alpha and omega oxidation are minor pathways. Even though they are called as minor pathways, they have their own role in the oxidation of fatty acids. And oxidation of fatty acids, under this we have beta oxidation, alpha oxidation, and omega oxidation. Coming to the beta oxidation, it takes place in mitochondria. It is for saturated and even chain fatty acids, and it plays major oxidation pathway. Whereas beta oxidation for unsaturated fatty acids and odd chain fatty acids, very long chain fatty acids, they takes place in peroxisomal organs, whereas alpha oxidation for branch chain fatty acids and omega oxidation, they play minor role, but they have got its own importance as far as the oxidation is concerned. Coming to the numbering of carbon atom, this we have come across in the topic chemistry of carbohydrates. The numbering of carbon atom from carboxyl group takes place, that is alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, etc. Whereas in case of numbering as omega 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., it takes place from the methyl group. Coming to the metabolic pathway, that is beta oxidation pathway, we will cover the topic under introduction, significance, pathway proper, energetics, regulation and disorders. Coming to the beta oxidation proper, the oxidative degradation of fatty acids in which two carbon units are sequentially removed as acetyl-CoA from the fatty acid molecule with each turn of the cycle. Here, the oxidative degradation of fatty acids takes place in which two carbon units are sequentially removed as acetyl-CoA from the fatty acid molecule with each turn of the cycle. This further enters into the TCA cycle. And coming to the site of the oxidation, mitochondria of almost all the tissues like liver, kidney, heart, muscles, testes, etc. Beta oxidation takes place. As far as the cardiac muscles is concerned, they derive 80% of energy from beta oxidation of fatty acids proper. And whereas beta oxidation doesn't take place in tissues like brain, red blood cells, and adrenal medulla. And coming to the source of the fatty acids, the stored triacylglycerol in the adipose tissue. This fatty acids is coming from lipolysis by hormone sensitive lipase, which is a major source for fatty acids. Next one is dietary triacylglycerol or triglyceride form chylomicrons and transported in the blood. Here the enzyme lipoprotein lipase releases free fatty acids from chylomicrons. Then free fatty acids enters the cells further. Coming to the significance of pathway. Significance of beta oxidation of fatty acids. It provides energy. Roughly about 20 to 30% of total energy requirement of the cell is coming from the beta oxidation of fatty acids, and about 95% of energy obtained from lipids comes from this pathway. So in other words, 95% of the energy obtained from the lipids comes from beta oxidation of fatty acids. Next one is production of acetyl-CoA. This in turn required for synthesis of ketone body synthesis, which plays an important role in or an alternate pathway during the starvation. And it helps in synthesis of cholesterol and helps in synthesis of acetylcholine. Coming to the beta oxidation pathway proper, it takes place under the following headings: the activation of fatty acid in the cytosol. The activation of fatty acid in the cytosol is a must. This activated fatty acid is transported from the cytosol into the mitochondrial matrix across the inner membrane of the mitochondria proper. Beta oxidation proper, it takes place in mitochondrial matrix. The major reactions are: first one is dehydrogenation, second one is hydration, again dehydrogenation, and last one is cleavage. So beta oxidation of fatty acids takes place in mitochondrial matrix under these four steps: dehydrogenation, hydration, dehydrogenation, and cleavage. Activation of fatty acid is a must, as you already know it. This activation of fatty acids takes place in the cytosol. Fatty acids in the cytosol, it is converted into fatty acyl-CoA, or which is also known as activated fatty acid. Under the influence of the enzyme acyl-CoA synthase, or it is also known as thiokinase, the coenzyme A plays an important role here. The energy for this reaction is coming from ATP. Here ATP is converted into adenosine monophosphate and pyrophosphate. This helps in synthesis of activated fatty acid, that is fatty acyl CoA. Here you remember, once ATP is converted into adenosine monophosphate and pyrophosphate, then the reaction becomes irreversible. The reaction becomes irreversible. Wherever the pyrophosphate is formed from the ATP, the reaction becomes irreversible. Just I would like to highlight here, the enzyme ends with synthetase. Here acyl CoA synthetase. Almost all the times the enzymes labeled or called as or ending with synthetase they require almost all the time ATP as the energy source. ATP as the energy source. That is the difference between synthase and synthetase. Here it is, the enzyme is acyl CoA synthetase. For these types of other enzymes, wherever it ends with synthetase, we have to assume that the energy is coming from ATP. Once the activated fatty acid is formed, it is transported to the mitochondrial matrix. Here, the activated fatty acid from the cytosol is transported into the mitochondrial matrix through the intermembrane space using a carnitine shuttle. In the next slide, we will try to know what is carnitine. Carnitine is a carrier protein. It is a carrier protein. Just the structure is for your understanding purpose. It is called as beta hydroxy gamma trimethyl ammonium butyrate. In short, it is abbreviated as carnitine. Carnitine is a must for the transport of the activated fatty acids from the cytosol into the mitochondrial matrix across the inner mitochondrial membrane space. The distribution of carnitine, 25% of carnitine is synthesized from lysine and methionine in the organ, liver and kidney. Rest is derived from dietary sources: red meat, poultry, fish, yeast, dairy products, etc. Most of it is located in skeletal muscles and cardiac muscles. Now we will try to know what is carnitine shuttle. Carnitine shuttle, on one side we have cytosol, on another side we have matrix, at the center we have intermembrane space. The intermembrane space of mitochondria. On cytosol, we can see the outer membrane of the mitochondria, and on mitochondrial matrix side, we can see the inner membrane space. the activated fatty acid through the carrier protein, that is fatty acyl-CoA carrier protein. The fatty acyl-CoA enters into the intermembrane space of the mitochondrial matrix. Here, with the help of the enzyme carnitine acyl transferase 1, carnitine acyl transferase 1, carnitine, it helps in the transport of fatty acyl-CoA. Here, carnitine binds to the fatty acyl and the product formed is fatty acyl carnitine with the liberation of the coenzyme A. With the liberation of coenzyme A, again this fatty acyl carnitine, it is transported into the mitochondrial matrix through the carrier protein, and once the fatty acyl carnitine comes into the mitochondrial matrix, again with the help of the enzyme carnitine acyl transferase 2, fatty acyl carnitine with the help of the enzyme CoA, it gets converted into and liberates fatty acyl carnitine. We are going to get fatty acyl CoA. This carnitine, once again it is transported from the mitochondrial matrix into the cytosol for further reutilization of the carnitine. Next step is the beta oxidation proper that takes place in the mitochondrial matrix. Beta oxidation proper in mitochondrial matrix, the steps are dehydrogenation, hydration, dehydrogenation and cleavage. Next we will come to the beta oxidation proper which is taking place in the mitochondrial matrix. The activated fatty acid or fatty acyl-CoA, it may be short chain fatty acid, medium chain fatty acid, long chain fatty acid. The step 1 is acyl-CoA dehydrogenase. Here the coenzyme FAD is converted to FADH2. There is a mistake is there. Instead of NADH2, you read it as FADH2. From FADH2, 1.5 ATPs are formed. This is as far as the new concept is concerned. From FADH2, 1.5 ATPs are synthesized. Earlier they used to tell from reducing equivalent FADH2, 2 ATPs are formed. But now recent theory proposes from FADH2, 1.5 ATP is synthesized. The compound that is formed is alpha beta unsaturated fatty acyl-CoA. Next step is the enzyme enoyl-CoA hydratase with the addition of water molecule. Delta 2 trans enoyl CoA, it is converted into beta hydroxy fatty acyl CoA, beta hydroxy fatty acyl CoA. Next step is beta hydroxy fatty acyl CoA undergoes dehydrogenation by the enzyme beta hydroxy fatty acyl CoA dehydrogenase. Beta hydroxy fatty acyl CoA dehydrogenase is the enzyme where the coenzyme NAD in the oxidized form it is reduced to NADH plus H plus. This reducing equivalent, once it enters into the electron transport chain, it helps in the synthesis of 2.5 ATP. 2.5 ATP. Earlier, we used to call it as 3 ATPs. According to the recent one, it is 2.5 ATP. The compound that is formed is beta keto fatty acyl CoA. The fourth step is where the enzyme is thiolase. With addition of the coenzyme A, the beta keto fatty acyl CoA is converted into fatty acyl CoA plus acetyl CoA. So 2 carbon compound acetyl CoA plus fatty acyl CoA. This fatty acyl CoA further enters the beta oxidation pathway, and at the same time acetyl CoA it enters into the TCA cycle or citric acid cycle, where it helps in the synthesis of 10 ATPs. 10 ATPs. This process is continued. This process is continued till acetyl CoA is formed. Acetyl CoA is formed. In the next picture, you can appreciate palmitic acid with carbon atom C16. It undergoes the process, that is 7 times. Ultimately, 8 acetyl CoA are formed in the beta oxidation of fatty acids. The beta oxidation of fatty acids. Thus, we can, next step, we will come to know how much energy is released from. Most of the time, the example is taken from the standard textbook. It is taking into consideration palmitic acid, which contains 16 carbon atoms. Palmitic acid plus 8 acetyl CoA during the process of beta oxidation proper, plus 7 FADH2, and plus 7 NADH. These two are reducing equivalents, and plus 7 H plus ions. So from 7 cycles of beta oxidation, we will get 28 ATPs. 28 ATPs. Here you can see FADH2 gives 1.5 ATP and NADH gives us 2.5 ATP. 7 cycle of beta oxidation gives us 28 ATPs plus 8 cycle of TCA cycle. Each TCA cycle gives us 10 ATP. So 8 acetyl CoA gives us 80 ATPs. So totally it comes to 108 ATPs. As 2 ATPs are utilized in the beta oxidation of fatty acid, the net ATP production is 106 ATP. Next we will pass on to the regulation of beta oxidation of fatty acid. The regulation of beta oxidation of fatty acid, it depends on the availability of the fatty acids proper. Here the hormone sensitive lipase is regulated by hormones. The major hormones are insulin or glucagon. Hence, the availability of fatty acid is regulated by hormone sensitive lipase by the hormones insulin and glucagon. Next one is regulation by melanin CoA, which is an intermediate in fatty acid synthesis, which inhibits the carnitine acyl transferase 1. Here there will be no inhibition of entry of acyl CoA inside mitochondria. Malonyl CoA, which inhibits entry of acyl CoA inside mitochondria, that is fatty acyl CoA inside mitochondria. Thus beta oxidation is inhibited when excess glucose is available for fatty acid synthesis. Thus beta oxidation is inhibited when excess glucose is available for fatty acid synthesis. Coming to the beta oxidation of odd chain fatty acids, the end products are acetyl CoA plus propionyl CoA. Propionyl CoA further undergoes conversion. Here the enzyme is biotin dependent propionyl CoA carboxylase, and the cofactors are magnesium or manganese. Here the energy is coming from ATP, and carbon dioxide is added to the reaction, and we are going to get D-methyl malonyl CoA plus adenosine diphosphate and inorganic phosphate. This D-methyl malonyl CoA converted into L-methyl malonyl CoA by the enzyme racemase. This L-methyl malonyl CoA, under the influence of L-methyl malonyl CoA mutase and the coenzyme 5-deoxyadenosyl vitamin B12, gets converted into succinyl CoA, which enters into TCA cycle. Coming to the other aspects of beta oxidation in peroxisomes, similar to previous, except first dehydrogenation reaction produces hydrogen peroxide rather than the reducing equivalent FADH2. Very long chain fatty acids are oxidized by this reaction. Beta oxidation in peroxisomes proper, instead of producing the reducing equivalent FADH2, they give us hydrogen peroxide. Taking into the energy as a source for the biochemical reaction, it is not a significant source of energy, beta oxidation of fatty acids in peroxisomes. Here, beta oxidation in peroxism, how it takes place? Acyl-CoA dehydrogenase with the help of oxidized FAD, it gets converted into reduced FADH2. The enzyme is liberated, acyl-CoA dehydrogenase. During the process of conversion of reduced FADH2, oxidized FADH2, oxygen is added during the reaction and hydrogen peroxide is formed. Under the influence of the enzyme catalase, a molecule of water is formed and a nascent oxygen is simultaneously released, which this further undergo oxidation. Coming to the oxidation of unsaturated fatty acids, presence of double bond poses some problems. Two additional enzymes overcome this problem, and those are isomerase and reductase. Energy yield of unsaturated fatty acid is less as compared to the saturated fatty acids. Saturated fatty acids. Next, we will move on to the disorders of beta oxidation proper. Carnitine deficiency, primary carnitine deficiency. Here there will be congenital deficiency in one of the components of carnitine palmitoyl transferase system, that is primary carnitine deficiency. Coming to the secondary carnitine deficiency, it may be due to liver disorder, malnutrition, strict vegetarian diet. The patients on the long term total parenteral nutrition, where the patient is not in a position to take the food through the mouth, so the energy is supplemented through the vessels, and where there is sometimes increased requirement, for example, pregnancy, lactation, infection, burns and trauma, and patients on hemodialysis. Patients on hemodialysis, there may be carnitine deficiency. Next picture, we can appreciate long chain fatty acids with the help of the enzyme carnitine palmitoyl transferase 1, with the carrier protein carnitine, long chain fatty acyl carnitine. It enters into the mitochondrial, and with the liberation of carnitine, we are going to get long chain fatty acyl CoA. This is further used as energy source for cell processes like glucose biosynthesis and during the vigorous exercises. This is the normal. In case of disease, long chain fatty acids increase in blood due to the defect in the enzyme, that is carnitine palmitoyl transferase 1. So no energy from long chain fatty acid is formed, which lowers capacity for glucose biosynthesis and utilizing fatty acids as an energy source during the exercises. So there will be excess of carnitine in the blood. these fatty acids, whenever there is increase in blood, these long chain fatty acids, they are stored in the liver as triglycerides, leading to the formation of increase in the size of the liver known as hepatomegaly. Hepatomegaly. Carnitine deficiency, medium and short chain fatty acids do not require carnitine for transport and are easily oxidized. In case of carnitine deficiency, the major symptoms are muscle cramps, muscle weakness, muscle pain, and easy fatigability. The treatment for this carnitine deficiency is oral administration of carnitine and lysine. Carnitine and lysine. On the right side of the slide, you can see the L-carnitine 500 milligram supplemented orally that take care of the carnitine deficiency. Medium chain acyl-CoA dehydrogenase deficiency. Second most common inborn errors of metabolism. The incidence rate is 1 in 2,500 live births. The symptoms are seen during the first year of the life, and it is seen more in case of prolonged fasting or starvation, you can say. Here, accumulation of fat in the liver causes fatty liver, increased blood level of free fatty acids, there will be hypoglycemia, there will be increased excretion of medium chain fatty acids in the urine, sleepiness or drowsy, vomiting, and sometimes patient may go into coma. The treatment for this is low fat diet, high carbohydrate diet, and patient should avoid doing the fasting. Next deficiency is long chain style CoA dehydrogenase deficiency. Clinical features are non-ketotic hypoglycemia, low carnitine, increased acyl carnitine. Next is Jamaican vomiting sickness. It is due to the toxicity of the amino acid hypoglycin A present in unripe ackee fruit. So already you know, roughly around 300 amino acids are in the nature. Out of this, for the human being, 20 are the amino acids that are required. Nowadays, they are coming with 21st and 22nd amino acids. So in the nature, 300 amino acids are there. This unripe ackee fruit, it inhibits acyl-CoA dehydrogenase. The clinical features seen are severe hypoglycemia. The one who consumes unripe ackee fruit shows the clinical features: hypoglycemia, vomiting, convulsions, coma, and death. Errors of odd chain fatty acids. Propionic acidemia. Here there will be deficiency of propionyl CoA carboxylase. The clinical features are ketoacidosis, vomiting, lethargy, and hypotonia. Next disease is methylmalonic aciduria. Here there will be deficiency of the enzyme mutase proper or the deficiency of the coenzyme vitamin B12. The clinical features are ketoacidosis, hypotonia, hypoglycemia, hyperammonemia and hyperuricemia. Next we will pass on to beta oxidation of odd chain fatty acids. The end products of beta oxidation of odd chain fatty acids are acetyl-CoA and propionyl-CoA. Propionyl-CoA, sorry, this slide has been repeated already. We have come across this slide. The organic aciduria are methylmalonic aciduria, propionic acidemia, medium chain, acyl-CoA dehydrogenase deficiency, long chain acyl-CoA dehydrogenase deficiency, glutaric aciduria. These are the disorders associated with oxidation of fatty acids, deficient enzyme and the clinical features. Next we will pass on to the next reaction. Next disease, sudden infant death syndrome. SIDS, it is abbreviation. Sudden infant death syndrome. Sudden death of apparently healthy baby takes place. It is due to deficiency of medium chain acyl dehydrogenase. When baby does not get feeding for 12 hours, there will be hypoglycemia leading to sudden death by overnight. Next we will pass on to alpha oxidation. It is a process by which fatty acids are oxidized by removing carbon atoms one at a time from the carboxyl end as carbon dioxide. This process is very important in brain. The site is endoplasmic reticulum and mitochondria. It does not generate energy, but the significance of this oxidation is oxidation of branch chain fatty acids, that is especially phytanic acid of plant chlorophyll. Next one is Rebson's disease. It is disorder associated with alpha oxidation. This is due to the lack of enzyme alpha hydroxylase or phytanic acid oxidase, so that alpha oxidation does not occur and phytanic acid accumulates in the various tissues of the body. The major clinical features are cerebellar ataxia, peripheral neuropathy, motor weakness and deafness. The treatment for this disorder is restriction of food with phytanic acid, that is green leafy vegetable, meat, etc. Next we will move on to omega oxidation. Omega oxidation, which usually takes place in microsomes. Here medium chain fatty acids are oxidized through this pathway. Oxidation of last carbon of fatty acids to form carboxyl group, which leads to formation of dicarboxylic acid. Activation occurs at both ends and beta oxidation can occur further. Beta oxidation can occur further. Here the various reactions of omega oxidation. The enzyme is mixed function oxidase. Coenzyme is NADH. It gets converted into NADP. Next, with the help of the enzyme, alcohol dehydrogenase and aldehyde dehydrogenase, later on it enters into the beta oxidation proper. Beta oxidation proper. The enzymes are mixed function oxidase, alcohol dehydrogenase, aldehyde dehydrogenase. Later on, the product enters into the beta oxidation proper. This is in the nutshell the beta oxidation. In the cytosol, there will be activation and transport. The first step is adenylation, acylation of coenzyme A, transfer to carnitine, transport through mitochondrial inner membrane, reconjugation with coenzyme A. This fatty acyl CoA along with carnitine enters into the matrix. Then we are going to get fatty acyl CoA and acyl CoA as the acetyl CoA as the end product. Acetyl CoA enters into the citric acid cycle. The fatty acyl CoA with 2 carbon shorter further enters into the beta oxidation proper by the steps dehydrogenation, hydration, dehydrogenation, thiolytic cleavage, leading acetyl CoA plus fatty acyl CoA with 2 carbon shorter than the original one. Coming to the summary, first lipolysis takes place. This leads to mobilization of the fatty acids. Next we have beta oxidation. The first and foremost important step is activation of fatty acids, transport into mitochondria, beta oxidation pathway proper, oxidation in peroxism, especially hot chain fatty acids and unsaturated fatty acids, alpha oxidation and omega oxidation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. ತಗೊಂಡಿರ ಸರ್